My name is Sergio Yanez, and this is the behind-the-scenes video for The Orb. It all starts with the script and a theme that I want to present. In this case, The Orb is a movie that talks about how we accept social media companies, absorbing and then doing whatever they want with our private information. The first draft was written in a single night and it was 3 pages long. Then I transformed it into a preliminary shot list and ultimately into a storyboard. My plan consisted in shooting the film and then editing, doing VFX work and color grading all by myself. So after a day of gathering test footage to see if I could actually pull it off, we moved into production. We used a Google Pixel 4 smartphone with Filmic Pro installed, tele and anamorphic lenses by Moment, and a tripod. We filmed the short over 4 days. The biggest challenge we faced was for the night scenes, since the phone camera gets noisy with low light. We had to film it around 6 p.m. to get the bluish tone and then enhance the night elements in post-production. We didn't record any sound for dialogue or sound effects in the room, since we didn't have the equipment. The actors recorded their own lines from their houses, and Alejandro Mallea did the sound design and Foley using a RØDE microphone. I did all the VFX work for the short. Besides the obvious scan shot, there are plenty of older shorts that required VFX, which I hope you didn't notice. For color grading, we decided to use a palette of orange and blue, using subtle tints and elements throughout the film. Finally, to put everything together, we used HitFilm Express and organized the timeline in 3 main tracks: RAW for the rough cut, VFX for the shots with VFX applied, and finally the graded track for the final shots. This short film might play out as a joke at the end, but it is full of symbols that support the main theme behind the story. For example, the book that Susan and Bill read is The Martian, which is about a man that gets stranded, alone, much like they are now. They also sit in a birdcage, kind of like a prison, with the orb observing them. Not so enticing anymore, right? The color palette of the film can be divided in 2 sections. The normal world, pre-orb, represented in an ashy, earthy orange palette, and the post-orb world, represented in a cold blue tint. Both TV ads have this blue tint, and when we meet Bill, he lives in this solid orange life. As he gets the orb and the orb starts to take control, we see his life turning from orange to blue. And finally, when the orb has full control over his life, we're living completely in this cold blue tint. We see a similar connection with the music of the short. Pablo and I worked very closely to bring a thematic element to the composition, and we did this using a very analog piece for the pre-orb world. And as we meet the orb, things get a little more synthetic. What are you bringing into your life? How much power are you giving social media? This is the world of The Orb. Thank you for watching.